It's Weekend Deal, and yesterday we had a very exciting day. Patients, I know that we were enamored with Dr. Susan.
Oh my goodness, I'm still in awe of the things I learned yesterday.
It was in Debbie.
Yes, it was Debbie.
Talking about the spa, lunchtime procedures.
Yes,
so amazing.
Yeah, it was.
But for me, what was very phenomenal, because I could practice it real, was the reowned.
So simple.
Yes.
So simple.
Rest and repair.
Yes, we have oxygen, water, and nutrition.
Great. Then exercise and
detox. Yes, simple things like that. See, oxygen, just do your breathing exercise.
Tai Chi. Exercise need not, you don't have to go to the gym if it's not convenient.
Yes.
You can skip, you can run up your stairs, okay, you can do sit-ups, leg raises. Just start easy and go at your own pace. And before you know it, if you do it at a specific time of the day, when you miss it, your body will remind you.
Something, you have to do something.
Raise your knee, walk towards your trunk. Now sit straight. Now bend your right knee. Bring your right foot. Place outside of your left knee. Bend your left knee. Place your left foot inside under your right bottom. Now inhale, raise your left hand up. Now breathe out, push your right knee and hold your right foot through your left hand. Now wrap your right hand back, look back, straight your back. Those who are not capable to wrap your hand, you can place the right hand back of your body. Straight your back. Your left hand should be used as a lever against the right leg. Now breathe in, slowly release the posture. Now we will do same in opposite side. Bend your left knee, place your left foot outside of your right knee. Bend your right leg. Place the outside of your right foot on the floor. Now breathe in, raise your right hand. Now breathe out, push your left knee, hold your left foot. Now wrap your left hand, look back. Now place your left palm on the floor, straight your back. Breathe in, slowly release your legs. Come to Dandasana. This posture simultaneously stretches the muscles on one side of the back and abdomen while contracting the muscles on the other side. It tones the nerves of the spine. It makes the back muscles supple, relieves lumbago and muscular sprains. It massages the abdominal organs and it elevating digestive elements. It regulates the secretion of the adrenal gland, liver and pancreas and is beneficial for the kidneys. Thank you for joining this yoga session. See you next time. Namaste. Raise your knee, walk towards your
strong.
It's weekend deal, and there's much talk about slowing down the biological clock. And it starts with you. With our background package today, Francis tackles this again and again, and it says great health, of course, starts from the inside and shows on the outside, but you must be consistent. Francis, I know there's a lot more you want to share.
What anti-aging and aging gracefully and slowing down the biological clock, it's just about the deliberateness. For example, if you go to Japan, their life expectancy has gone up to 80s, so you can live to be 80 averagely. And then in Nigeria, we are still in the 50s for average life expectancy. So now, if we are deliberate, like, okay, that average life expectancy is not okay, what have we been doing wrongly or even the right way? What can we do differently to shift the life expectancy of the average Nigerian person? So this is where science have come in to see what can we bring to the table to slow down how fast people get sick and then die. So God determines the day you enter and the day you get out. But in between, we have everything to do to make sure that we stay healthy. Number one, O for oxygen. Just take a deep breathing exercise. It will reduce your BP. It will calm you and reduce your stress. W for water. Pay attention to how much water you drink. For us, averagely 675 cl bottles of water like this before 6 p.m. So that you're not up all night urinating is going to promote longevity. Then N, nutrition. What you should do about nutrition is embrace more of raw food. Because when you overcook the food, you get rid of the medicine. It's the processing that removes the medicine from the food on. Then E, exercise. That means just move your body. You see, when you're born, like a 2-3-year-old, they're always running, they're full of life. But when you die, how are you? Stiff. So when you're static, stiff, you're closer to death than when you're moving. And then the last one is D, or second to that is D. D for what? Detoxification. Intermittent fasting. You must not eat yourself to death. And when you're eating your food, is there all the food that does not have anything to say it's promoting life? So I say D, detox. Take a fasting, take 1 day out of the week and do fruits and vegetable. But what is the icing on the cake is rest. If you don't rest, another spelling for rest is what? Repair. So you rest. So just if you can even do just a few of these, pay attention to, getting vitamin D from the sunlight. I think if we do just this little one that I've summarized, you can go a very long way. Nothing keeps you longer than having a very good relationship, belonging to a community. So that means community, church, old boys school, something, like in Nigeria, if you graduate from here, there's this thing you do every year to meet up. You look forward to that. There's this hormone that is secreted in your body that attracts life when you belong to a community, when you have a good social relationship. Do you remember President Barack Obama? When he was campaigning to take up office, he went in like with your hair like this, black, very beautiful. You gave him 2 years, less than 2 years. Everything became white and he became a black man. So lots of studies went into that. What is the effect of stress in aging? At least the obvious sign of aging is what? Gray hair, wrinkle, and you know what I mean? You just look older. I think President Barack Obama showed the world that when you're stressed to the maximum level, you will age internally. It doesn't have to show, but his own was like so obvious, so you can relate. So the bottom line is that we need to have some stress management skills right here. And lastly, you can seek professional help. Don't guess, don't go what is on the internet. There's a lot of garbage on the internet and people are going about it the wrong way. Look for the expert on the subject matter, consult.
Weekend Deal today is captioned Slowing Down the Biological Clock.
Dr. Susan Adams continues to give, and she is actually giving. I mean, everything she says, we can say them again and again and again until we invite them and continue to do them. Now, the place of healthy diet in slowing down your biological clock can never be overemphasized. I mean, you are what you eat. I mean, what other way can we put it? You are actually what we eat. But NTA has us covered because they're joining the conversation now. Let's watch.
The key to longevity is eating healthy. If one is not healthy, there would be a feeling of feeling off. Such feelings of tiredness and then mentally may result in less concentration. So, improving one's diet can help ward off illnesses and help live a longer life. Eating balanced diets such as vegetables, fruits, grains, nuts, and avoiding processed foods such as canned food will help in promoting longevity. More intake of water is also a must-do to obtaining a longer lifespan.
From basic food, we don't need to do without on daily basis. The first of one, let me mention things like egg. Let me mention egg. Like when it comes to egg contains nearly all the food nutrients we can think of when it pertains to diet. And not just that, it also has a high quality protein. So if I may even want to look at food that can give you the basic nutrient, the food that may contain a wide range of nutrients, you have to consider egg. That is one. Then apart from egg, another food that can equally stand to become a meal on its own is what we call milk. That is dairy product, milk. And look at other food that may also be necessary in terms of longevity. We now look at the vegetables. Now, vegetable, apart from giving us energy, apart from giving us the micronutrient, what do I mean by the micronutrient? Nutrients that are required in small amount, but also necessary for our nourishment. So vegetable will give you the necessary micronutrient. And what are micronutrients? Vitamins and minerals. So those functional foods are very, very good because they help to fight against free radicals in the body. And they have some properties ranging from antioxidant properties, phytochemical properties, and the rest of them. So example of those vegetables that may equally have functional food, that may have nutritional properties, that may have ability to fight against infection, ranging from fresh tomato, very, very important. Carrot.
Additionally, healthy eating can be of immense benefit to having a strong immune system, healthier blood pressure, as well as lowering risk for heart diseases and other chronic diseases.
I'll soon be celebrating my 70th birthday. I will attribute it to the grace of God, knowing what to do and doing the right thing, having a good frame of mind, being free with yourself, with God, and your fellow human being, and eating what you know is good for the body. Just that, those are the secrets. I eat almost every food, good food, but I take tea a lot. I eat balanced diets, and I don't eat too much. My advice to young people is that they should not getting involved in the things that would be detrimental to their health. They should devise a culture of eating good food.
So, if you are yet to cultivate a healthy eating habit and healthy living, you can start now, as it is never too late to adopt a longevity lifestyle.
Okay, welcome back. Earlier in the week, Thelma sat down with our next guest, Dr. Kojo Kayo, a fellow examiner and trainer of the West African College of Physicians and president, Integrated Medicine West Africa. He was in the studio and Thelma had an extensive chat with him. Let's watch.
The focus of our discourse today is about slowing down the biological clock. And many may ask, is it possible? How do we do it? Because everyone wants to be successful, wants to be entrepreneurial, wants to be happy, but hardly anyone says, yay, I want to age. And that's why it's something we know everyone is interested in learning about. Oftentimes, we may take steps that are not in our best healthy interest. So we need medical advice, competent medical advice that is. And that's why our next guest will throw more light that we can take away and we can impact our lives successfully with. Let's welcome Dr. Kojo Karu. He's a consultant, family physician, and a fellow examiner and a trainer of the West African College of Physicians and the president of the Integrative Medicine West Africa. Very important is he's an African, he's from Sierra Leone, but he's here in Nigeria on Weekendo with us today. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much.
Great. Slowing down the biological clock. Many now wonder, is it possible or are they just jesting?
The idea of slowing down the biological clock gives a different connotation in science. So reducing the process of aging is what actually we intend to do, or we intend to say, slowing the process of aging. And the process of aging is the natural process of getting older. And so we have to look at why do we get old, what happens when we age. And what happens when we age is there is a reduction in intracellular energy. So the metabolic processes are slower. So it results in reduction in cellular function, and the cellular properties will change as a result. So basically, what we need to do is to maintain the energy requirements of the cell, of every cell, from the crown of the head to the tip of the toes, because a lot of people look at the externals. We talk about just the skin and the muscles, etc. But I mean, the entire ecosystem of the body, from the crown of the head to the tip of the toes, needs to be affected, and we have to re-energize our system.
We didn't know that we age. From at least for women, we're very, very conscious about that. Then wrinkles start to come up, we cannot wear high heels anymore. Sometimes the style of dressing will change. We're not sleeping as peaceably as we used to. So many people oftentimes begin to look to direction of supplements. Some do lifts, some want to have surgeries and all of that. And that way, are we working from the outside in? Or is there a procedure that is done that starts that process from the inside out?
Exactly. It's like we are putting the cart before the horse. The first thing we need to do is to re-energize the cell and to reverse what Frank Schallenberger will call the mitochondrial decay. Now, it sounds very scientific, but the mitochondria is the structure within the cell that generates the energy. So toxins toxic materials usually are the ones that impinge on the mitochondria. It prevents the mitochondria from producing that level of energy for optimal metabolism within the cells. That is, metabolism is just a system of chemical reactions that need to happen within the cell for its normal functioning. And those chemical reactions all require energy. So that's where the energy input comes in. So there must be sufficient energy to carry out all these chemical reactions, or else there will be chaos within the cell. If the energy level drops in the cell, what happens is that there will be competition with the chemical reactions. So we have a situation that we will refer to as metabolic chaos.
But what's the role of supplements? Because more often than not, what we hear, for those who are quite healthy, they improve what they eat. They make sure it has all the nutritional properties that they need, like a balanced diet. They exercise as well. And then they now begin to take supplements. On the continent, we were taught earlier on that you could start in your 40s. Last year, some of us were privy to learn that it's in your 20s. Should supplements play a role in our lives at all if we're already eating healthy, exercising, resting, taking lots of water?
Nutritional supplements are very important these days because what we eat is usually lacking in some of the essential ingredients that the cells would need to repair. So we need to add these things to our diets.
Nowadays we have people at 45, 50, 55 stroke. We have stroke, we have heart attack. It has become a daily feature, and we know that even many of these people are taking cognizance of their health and well-being. But in spite of that, these things occur.
Yes, it is very clear from your discourse just now that our grandfathers did not have a situation where there were so many cars in the streets, that you have generators in every generating, and putting fumes into the air, and you're breathing the same fumes. And our grandfather, there are lots of things. Our grandfathers were not exposed to the electromagnetic waves from mobile phones and stuff like that.
Transmitters.
Yes, so we cannot compare ourselves with them. You see, because they lived in areas where you have trees. The trees supplies the necessary oxygen, and they looked good.
So life was good then.
Life was much better.
But some say it's better now.
In fact, the life in rural Africa is so much better than the life in urban Africa. You see, so we have to think about that.
But we can make the best available use of what is available to us, but also take more cognizance of what we take in and what we ought to ignore, especially at this time of the world where there's so much global development and some are not in our best healthy interest.
Yes, I agree with you. We should actually imbibe smart technology rather than just any kind of technology.
Interesting. We will rest our discourse here.
Okay.
We must thank you immensely, Dr. Kojo Keru, because you've learned expert knowledge. It seems easy, but oftentimes we ignore it. And we say, after all, I'm healthy, I'm living well. But messages like this, when they come in intermittently in our lives, they remind us, that we're not here forever. And the quality of life that we desire is achievable if only we are wise. Thank you very much, Dr. Kojo Keru, consultant family physician, fellow examiner and trainer of the West African College of Physicians and the president of Integrative Medicine in West Africa. Sierra Leone, Nigeria. Tell us what you love best about Nigeria. You've been here a while.
My name is Kojo Ayodele. So we are one people. We were defined by people who do not even know us. They came and so I'm Kojo Ayodele. My son is Namdi.
Fantastic, great to have you. Welcome, Patriot. We'll go on a break now. Weekend will continues afterwards.
Welcome back, Dr. Kojo Keru, President, Integrated Medicine, West Africa. Listening to him was really enlightening to know that people don't even have to die from sickle cell, HIV, and there are ways that this can be treated and cured. Thelma, you must have had an interesting time speaking with him.
Indeed, it was quite engaging and focused on energy. He was like, this toxins can deplete our energy. And he said, if your energy is depleted, then who then are you? What is left? Because you can hardly perform at optimal capacity. So we need to, that's why what Dr. Susan was saying yesterday made perfect sense. Detoxify regularly. Rejuvenate.
Because they keep saying that our African food is healthy, but the process, we go through to make the food eatable is the problem, and they keep saying seasoning cube, and I'm worried. Tell me I am worried.
Use minimal.
Minimal, or don't use at all.
Yes, and you say it is processed. It's not in our best health interest. Avoid what is processed. Use what is more natural.
More natural way to go. Okay, we keep doing the best we can, and then one thing they blame all the time for not looking good or aging is stress.
Indeed.
Stress is always the culprit when it comes to not looking good and looking tired. Well, Inka has put together this beautiful piece on stress management. Let's watch.
As we navigate the intricate stages of life, stress often emerges as an unwelcome but inescapable companion. It is an emotional baggage that we all must bear. In fact, stress can be seen as a natural response to the challenges and uncertainties that life presents.
Contrary to the belief, stress is important, but when it becomes too much is when it is not too good again. But when it becomes too much, the body reacts to it. Now, when you're working under pressure, it actually gives you the opportunity to learn faster and to also achieve results. Set realistic and smart goals. If you don't set realistic and smart goals, I'll take us back to the two stressors of stress. You have the internal and you have the external. Now, one of the internal is you not being assertive enough. When you're not assertive enough, you know that you cannot perform these tasks. And even when you're under pressure, you know your capacity to handle such situations. At the end of the day, you begin to do things that are out of bound. And that's where stress begins to come. Mind you, stress will not just happen in a day. It builds up over time.
In our formative years, it might be the stress of academic exams, peer pressure, or making crucial life decisions. As we transition into adulthood, the stresses might revolve around career choices, financial responsibilities, and building relationships.
It makes us not to work optimally. Now, it reduces your ability for you to cope. And most times, when you engage in stressful activities, it reduces that ability for your body to fight against diseases. So you're prone to diseases because your immune system is weak and it cannot perform at the optimal level. Now, when it comes to mental state, you cannot really respond to stimulus at that mental state because your optimal level to process information, your optimal level for you to concentrate, your optimal level for you to begin to cope with some other stressors of life may not really be intact because your body is overstretched and your mental health at that point in time is not really in the good state.
Stress can act as a signal from our bodies and minds, prompting us to pay attention to our well-being. It reminds us to prioritize self-care, seek support when needed, and make choices that align with our values and aspirations. In this sense, stress becomes a powerful teacher, guiding us towards a life that is more in harmony with our authentic selves.
There are symptoms for one to look at when someone is stressed, but these symptoms may not be like a generalized symptoms. Stress levels may differ from personalities to different personalities. So some persons may find it very difficult for them to sleep, that's insomnia. Some persons may not even eat. Some persons may find it difficult relating with other people. Some persons may just want to isolate themselves. Some persons may just be showing one or two depressive episodes or may just be anxious. It's important that as we age over time, we have enough rest. And if such an individual does not have enough time to rest, it affects them physically and mentally, and even their ability to fight diseases too. Most times when people find themselves in workplace, they want to set goals that they cannot achieve. And at the end of the day, it becomes a very stressful thing for them. Most times we are so preoccupied by our work schedules and all, so we don't even often have time for ourselves to rest and all.
Integrating meditation, mindfulness, and relaxation exercises into one's lifestyle offers powerful tools for managing stress and enhancing both the quality and longevity of life. These practices empower individuals to cultivate inner resilience, maintain optimal health, and savor the precious moments of life with greater serenity and vitality.
Okay, you're watching Weekend Deal. We just came back from, where were we really? We went to...
Yinka was, right?
Okay, Yinka was talking about stress.
Yeah.
And we realized that stress sometimes is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You worry about things that really don't matter that much. If you take life easy, like Patience always says, see how you're posing and looking at me, you just say nothing should worry you. You are alive, you're breathing. Just take it easy and enjoy life. We have another esthetician here with us today. You know, we had Debbie yesterday, and she's fair-skinned. Maybe some people have the impression that you have to be fair-skinned to be healthy or beautiful. It's a no-no. We have Audu Ladi Kwawo today. She's a medical esthetician and a CEO of some great place where they take care of skin and all of that. Welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here.
You're welcome.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Your smile is amazing. You don't have to do with the one you do. I don't understand why your smile is beautiful.
Funny enough, if you smile too much, then your face could sag, but I just smile. I like to smile.
Oh! You wake up with a natural smile like this. It's amazing.
So you smile too. This is that angle to it too.
Well, you smile, but ensure that you're also doing some facial exercises before you go to bed, just so that you help to minimize the smile lines.
Okay,
facial
so they don't turn to
wrinkles.
wrinkles.
Yes, so there are certain things, certain measures you take to reduce the aging process.
But it's still better to smile than to frown.
Well, it's just better to keep your face at rest.
Okay, we are
Keep your
at rest, like this.
that's a new thing.
The face is resting now.
The truth is, I don't smile so often, so it helps to keep my face at rest. My face is usually just.
So why are you smiling now? You're happy to be here? Okay, great. You were talking about earlier behind the scene, Patience was talking to you about some things, and you said that you mainly focus on outward skin balance, great manifestation of beauty that doesn't have to be yellow or white. Tell us about that.
Okay, so let me say in Nigeria, sadly, we assume, or a lot of people, not a lot, some people assume that for you to have clear skin, light skin, means that your skin is healthy. A healthy skin is not a light skin. Healthy skin is not brown skin. Healthy skin is healthy skin. So if you're naturally fair, you can have a really bright complexion and yet have a very unhealthy looking skin or unhealthy skin. So there are factors that would determine if your skin is healthy. Your water intake.
Water again?
Yes.
Water.
Your water intake. What you eat. Exercise. How often do you take care of your skin from the outward? And lastly, do you wear SPF? A lot of people don't know what SPF is.
Yeah.
Sun protection factor.
Yeah.
That's what SPF is. So when you tell people, are you wearing SPF? Especially men, they'll tell you, I'm not a woman. Forgetting that the skin is an organ and you must treat it like an organ.
Yeah.
UV rays, the sun produces UV rays, and what the SPF will do is to protect your skin.
But before you go on, we are told we need some amount of sunlight that is good for us to help us look good. So which one is enough? Which is too much? At what point? Vitamin D. They say we need it. So how do we get the vitamin D without damaging our skin?
Okay, so you don't need to directly stand under the sun to receive your vitamin D. Of course, there's certain food you eat that you would get the same vitamins and nutrients you need. But because you need vitamin D from the sun, does not mean that the sun does not also damage the skin. So the sun protection you're using is not going to remove or not allow you get the benefits you need from the sun. Rather, it's going to protect you and help you slow down aging.
Well, let's look at the neck. What kind of treatment would you give the neck? Is it natural? The aging process will tell, and you tell on the neck. So when you're treating skin on the neck, what is the intent?
Okay, so
and what would the outcome?
So let me give you the first aid for the neck. Whenever you apply SPF on your face, don't forget your neck.
Of course, yeah.
Some people forget their neck. So you see they have perfect face and their neck is aged out. But then when you realize that, okay, my neck is wrinkled, there are procedures that we can do.
Yes. Revive it?
Yes. So we stimulate your collagen. You have collagen in you, but we stimulate it to reproduce itself. The older you get, the lower collagen production.
It depletes.
It's normal. That's where aging starts. People start to see that, oh, this person she looks her age, she looks this, she looks that, he looks this, he looks that. So what we do is we stimulate
the collagen
to start to produce itself again.
The question I asked, I think it was Debbie yesterday, and I'm going to ask you some question. Now, aging for men and women, because of our bodies, what we go through as mothers, we age faster than men. Do you think
yes, we do.
Okay.
It's up to a point.
We do
age faster. I think you're going to say no.
No. we do.
Do you do anything to reverse that process or to stabilize it?
You can't reverse it. You can manage aging, and you can age gracefully.
Like she said, age faster now. She's talking about like women have children. Women most times they raise the children. The stress level is high. Then many women are managing homes and working as well.
So the trick is this. Let me start with young ladies. So when you're in your early 20s, you really want to start taking care of your skin, because your reproductive years between 20 to, let's say, max 40. So it can extend, but averagely 20 to 40 is a woman. Now, you want to make sure that you're really stimulating your collagen to produce good cells. And while you're doing that, you're eating well, you're going in for your consultation, you're wearing your SPF. There are topicals that we prescribe for you that helps you stimulate new skin cells. They produce skin, your skin begins to turn over really fast. It takes 28 days for your skin cells to turn over. 28 days. Every 28 days, you have new skin cells.
Okay, so all this water, healthy eating, rest, repair, relaxation will not stimulate those cells
it's
naturally.
It's how your skin works. Whether you drink water or you don't drink water. And that's why if you've ever experienced, maybe in January you had really nice skin.
Yeah.
And in March, you're like, what's going on?
Yes.
Send me. And people are like, what did you do? Why are you looking so flushed now? Why are you looking bad? No.
You're looking these.
Skin turnover. So now, the new skin that's coming, what nutrients were you giving it?
Okay. You know what? Not even that hot. Let's go to Macaulay, and their emphasis is on
Sleep
and aging. Sleep and aging. We'll continue that conversation when we come back. Lady, I want to hear more. Let's go to Macaulay.
Sleep is basically a natural good for all humans and animals. It is a natural physiological mechanism that pushes or forces the humans' mental and physical activities to a rest. So this, as a result, when one has a very good and healthy sleep, it improves the person's well-being, brain function, improving memory, improving creativity, improving your judgment, improving your attention, improving your decision making and problem solving.
Knock, who's there? Baby girl. This is some minutes to 8 far. I just want to sleep. Come on, what are you doing? Oh, let me sleep.
When the sleep is not enough, the opposite is health risk, such as there are many psychological disorders that you can suffer, such as anxiety, such as depression, and then physical illnesses like hypertension, obesity, diabetes, and many others you'll be exposed to. Sickness is a stress. It's a stress. It's a stressor. So when you are sick, it affects both your physical and mental well-being. And that leads to the decline in your immune system. And as your immune system declines, aging sets in. Aging generally means you are growing beyond the point of your birth to another level of becoming either an old person up to the point of dying. So it has a relationship with our mental well-being. As you are aging, usually your cognitive state or reasoning, that is mental state or reasoning, begins to decline as you age. So you will experience things like forgetfulness. There will be also what you call sometimes dementia, could be as a result of aging. And people talk about senile dementia, basically senile dementia. It's as a result of aging, and that impact on the mental well-being of the person.
According to experts, quality sleep, 7 to 10 hours each day for adults and more for babies and children, helps us to distress our bodies and minds, therefore making us age gracefully.
That was quite interesting, but also very, it's alive. Yeah. It's what we do or what we ought to do on a daily basis. Yeah. If you don't rest, if you don't relax, then you become stressed. Yeah. Even if you are not working overtime. Before we took that feature, talking about sleep and rest and all the benefits, we're talking with Audu Lade Kwao, and she's been opening so many doors, interesting doors that we pass. We just walk past those doors and we think they don't really matter. And then when the thing will not start to happen, we start running about looking for her. We think she's here giving us free advice, and people are asking questions like somebody reaching us from say, first of all, they love your name. They say, Audu Lade Kwao, of course you'll be beautiful. He said, I want to know the supplements you are using.
Wow. No, I'm not using any supplements. I've never taken supplements for my skin. But there are supplements that you can take for your skin, but currently I'm not taking any supplements.
Why? I'm just interested. Why are you not taking supplements?
Because I ensure that I try to do monthly facials every month. If I don't do a proper facial, I would at least go under light therapy just to boost my collagen production. So what I do is I ensure that my collagen production is constantly being boosted.
I will still ask you if at some point in your life you intend to begin to take supplements. But let's go to Joss, where there's talk of brain health and cognitive exercises. Brain health is so key. It's so key. Let's see this.
Aging is a natural part of life, and it is essential to embrace it gracefully by adopting healthy habits and positive lifestyle, which can promote healthy aging for a fulfilling and vibrant life.
Brain health would include activities that can help you keep those channels in the brain or connections in the brain open and connected, so there's a free flow and people tend to remember things that they have done and all of that.
Professionals emphasize that mental exercises play a significant role in promoting and maintaining good mental health.
Elderly people actually need the technology, so there are several applications that have been built for young people and also for old people, and it's basically awareness. All we're trying to do is to make sure that people are aware that there are different versions of the same applications that you use. There are other versions that has also been made for elderly people, and trying to create awareness and let people understand. And even like for my dad recently, I had to take his phone and change the layout of the way the phone is, so that he can easily understand and navigate it. And today my father started using WhatsApp. Before, it's like it's something he doesn't want to do, but by the time I change the outlook of his phone and it's easier like a calculator for him to be able to access stuff, today he's beginning to get involved even in social media. So it's all about awareness, and that's what we've been doing.
Delaying age-related cognitive decline involves adopting a healthy lifestyle and engaging in activities that support brain health.
For them to be able to have those exercises that will be useful, there are certain things that you need to consider. For instance, your vision. You need to see, to coordinate. You need to use a part of your brain that will remember, things. And so we encourage elderly people to participate in, to have an active life, a physically active life. Physically active life promotes blood circulation, and the more blood reaches the brain, the more useful, that is. We also encourage them, besides the physical activity, to engage in some, let's say, embroidery. It requires focus, for you to do it, and if you do it repeatedly, it also helps to promote your brain health. We also encourage them to participate in puzzles. There are certain activities that they do, even locally in our villages, the playing of things like Ludo or the local Dara and things like that. These are things that will not only promote your brain health, it will also increase social connectivity. You see elderly people join young people on hikes and all of that. Just that idea of being with people of maybe different generation, it's like a happy hormone that is created in you, and the happier you are, the more focused you become, the more desire you have to get up in the morning and do something.
Well, the exercise is very, very important, especially we that old. You see, as you see me like this, I will trek from here to Bukuru and come back without any stress, without any pains the following day. You see, it is very, very important. It helps your brain to work very well. Hardly you will become sick as far as you are doing exercise every morning. You're hardly sick.
Exercising your brain through thinking, exercise helps it to be sharp. Yes, it helps it to be sharp. Sharpness in thinking, sharpness in resolving issues, sharpness in solving even puzzles that are difficult to be resolved. Yes, exercise contributes in that. Yes.
Maintaining brain health involves a holistic approach, including mental exercises, brain training apps, and various activities that promote cognitive well-being. These activities can help the elderly in our society enjoy a sharper mind as they age and delay age-related cognitive decline.
Okay, exercise. Tana was telling me about her exercises and the effect. I'm not going to say that on TV, but it was hilarious. So we're just talking about doing the right exercise, and of course the place of exercise in your brain health again can never be overemphasized. As you grow old, our brain starts working from the day we are born to the day God calls us home. So we must take care of our health. That our brains for our health. That's our memory box. It's our producer. If it's a TV station, our brain is the producer. It tells us what to do. So we must exercise right to keep our brains sharp. Our guest is still here, Laddie. Laddie. We learned so much from you. People are asking questions. So when it comes to corrective measures, okay, so I'm a woman of a certain age, and I'm not looking, there are fine lines and there are wrinkles, and I come to Laddie. What will you do for me?
So first of all, I would analyze your skin and know where you are mentally. It's very important to know where the client is mentally, the reason why she feels that way. Because oftentimes when you have clients coming, they look really good, but when you don't feel good, no matter what you tell them, they don't see it. So it's more like you psychoanalyze them to be sure that they're in their right mental state, and we give you a treatment option. No, from conversations, chatting,
yeah.
We just talk, and you'll be able to determine this person is depressed, this person has low self-esteem, she just needs encouragement, you just need to, so it differs. So when you come in, we'll give different treatment plans, options rather, and I tell you, okay, these are the options, which of them would you want to do? I will always advise, turn it into a lifestyle. Don't look for quick fix. Quick fix will damage your skin. The way you make out time to eat and drink water, make out time for your skin, so that you feel good about yourself. Why you feel good about, when you exercise, there's the way you feel. There's another way you feel as well when you work on your skin.
Okay, just one more, because this is like a good story that can inspire many people, and you can tell if it's accurate or not. Steve from Warri says he's 75 years, and he has been using aloe vera gel on his face on the daily since 1993. He says, I'm 75 years old now, and when some people see me, they say, you look good, and they ask me, what's the secret? He said, I grow aloe vera plants around me. Am I doing the right thing? Some people say that aloe vera gel darkens them. Perhaps it's the one that they buy, but I use the natural aloe vera gel from the plants.
So even we as estheticians, I use aloe vera gel, but I don't use the natural one anyways. It's very good to calm the skin. So if your skin is irritated, you've exposed your skin under the sun, aloe vera gel can really help to calm your skin. So yes, it's doing something good for himself. But please don't join him. Don't join him until you're sure that it's good for you. Please don't just take up any skincare advice that you see is working for someone else. Because some people say aloe vera, I'm going to plant aloe vera now. Please don't plant aloe vera. Be sure that that's what you need. But aloe vera is really good for calming the skin. But you need to know at what point to implement it into your routine.
Okay, just like the human beings need to calm ourselves every now and again, so does our skin need a calming ingredient every now and again. A break beckons. We'll pay some bills. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Okay, welcome back. The place of nutrition in aging is big. Nutrition is in the center of it all. But how should we eat? When should we give our bodies rest from eating? And how long should this rest from eating last? And I'm talking about fasting. NTA Benin's contribution is on intermittent fasting and aging. Let's see this.
Intermittent fasting, a dietary option in which individuals go extended periods with little or no energy intake after consuming regular foods, is fast gaining grounds for its potential of slowing down the aging process by enhancing physical and cognitive well-being.
Intermittent fasting is just like a kind of program or schedule that people do to reduce the calorie intake, and then probably for the purpose of weight reduction, or maybe just to cut down their weight.
Intermittent fasting is something we do at regular intervals, and I feel people do it because they're targeting on losing weight. I also do intermittent fasting and still come to the gym. It doesn't stop you from doing your gym work at all, because it helps to increase your metabolism, which helps you to lose more weight. Because if you lose muscle mass, you can't burn weight. So intermittent fasting is something that targets the fat, and if you do for a very long period of time, it may affect your muscle. But if you follow the regular process, which means you go for about a week and then leave it for say 2 days and then go back to it, you'll be fine.
I did it for 3 months.
Did you do it under supervision?
Not under doctor supervision, but I have a chart that I use to put down whatever I'm taking.
But what exactly is the connectivity between this approach to dieting and the entire aging process? Dietitian Benga Oladekbo explains the dynamics.
If you are taking 16-hour break out of 24 hours, it means that you are not doing any work. But if you are doing any work, you need energy to do that work. It means that you are not provide the energy your body needs to do the work, your daily routine activities. So you are going to destroy that body.
He says he is not a proponent of intermittent fasting.
People that go on that intermittent fasting, there are people that eat more than what they should eat. So if you are eating, you eat exact what you need to eat. You don't have issue, you don't have problem. You don't need to go there. That intermittent fasting is not healthy because you don't buy the fuel that will take you to Mowe while you are going to Lagos. So that car will stop on the way. So when you do it for a long time, it affects the system because you are losing some certain nutrient. Healthy diet, prolong life. So you have to live your life healthy. So when you eat healthy.
However, he says,
if you want to do intermittent fasting, instead of starve yourself, so then what are the food that can actually, prompt you to add more weight? Or sometimes, some people actually fond of wake up in the morning, eating fufu and ogbono in the morning, and then in the afternoon, the same eba and ogbono in the afternoon. But when you are calculating your food, you take, a lot of fiber, instead will replace, the glycemic, the glycemic pronounced, carbohydrate, source. So if you are doing that, at least more fiber, a little, monosaccharide or polysaccharide or whatever, form of carbohydrate you want to eat.
Research from available data indeed show that while intermittent fasting may extend life expectancy and improve the quality of life during old age, the effectiveness and safety of its health-promoting effects need to be systematically studied.
We're back from Benin. It's great to be here again, and Audu Ladi Kawo is still here, sharing great expert advice about health, longevity. I just got back from Benin. The focal point there was about intermittent fasting, and there's something going on now. So you can do it for 12 hours, 6 hours, 18 hours, and they say it has great health benefits on the body. I know that I have a challenge with digesting food, and I eat late most of the time. So without knowing what it was called, I've already been doing intermittent fasting over time. I don't have breakfast. I really have an early lunch until I feel good, and I take lots of water. So it helps me to eat later, around 3, 4. But I don't know, is it really a good practice? Does it work for everyone, do you think?
Well, I don't know if it works for everyone, but a lot of people have said it's good. I like you said, I've done it, but I didn't do it with the mindset of actually tagging it as intermittent fasting. But I realized that if you do it for about 2-3 days, you feel good about yourself, you feel more energetic, you feel nicer. So you want to also make sure that you're fit enough to do that. If you have underlying health conditions like ulcer, you want to check that.
Thank you very much. Audu Ladi Kawo. It's been exciting learning with you, learning from you, and learning together as well from those who have sent in their comments. Medical esthetician and a chief executive officer of some nice beauty place, healthy place, right?
Yes.
People will be in touch.
It's been about slowing down the aging process, and I can assure you that aging also is an attitude. If you keep young in your behavior, you'll be young. Even if you're 2 years old and you're old, you'll be old. So let's keep the young attitude. Thelma.
Well, you need to be intentional. Do the right things. Be owned. Okay, re-owned. And repair. Oxygen, water, nutrition, the right one. Exercise and detox often. Bye-bye.
God bless Nigeria.